Hello, welcome to Christian's Podcast. Screw friends, so we're talking about this segment we see the recent double header transition, season transition double header, day one.
Yep. Uh, so, what did you want to talk about? It's like, yeah, like, should I? It's like, okay, doubleheader, but it's like, okay, I guess I could do talk about the first half of the week today and the latter half tomorrow, since we already kind of went over last week due to the special occasion. Yeah, so Monday, day after I get back from convention, and we did the podcast that Sunday, so yeah. But yeah, so I basically they have a friend over because like Thursday is like the apartment inspection, so we have to get the place clean. So they brought over some help, but they want to go on an adventure, as they sometimes do, and they're always getting on my case about. Well, not always, but sometimes getting on my case about me not joining them, not getting out of the house enough. So it's like, okay, I'll join, even though I'm tired. I just got back from a convention. Whatever. I'll hang out with them. So we go to this taxidermy place. It's like, cool, dead animals. Uh, Not really my thing, but whatever. Uh, then we went to Wajimaya. So that makes it 3 times in the span of like 4 days that I ended up going to Wajimaya. Once when I got into Seattle, once before I left Seattle, and once the day after I got back from Seattle. I only spent like $30, but I try to keep it light. Since, post convention, money's a bit, so so. So that went all well and nice and stuff. And then after that, we went to Powell's because one of us was looking for certain a certain kind of book. They weren't exactly sure what they were looking for, but they had like an idea. So into Powell's, biggest independent bookstore in the world. Really nice place. They've changed up the layout a little bit since I was last there. God, when was I last there? Uh, I don't know. We may have gone there once at least some other point, but I do know we used to hit up Powell sometimes during the Northwest Brony Fests when those happened. Good times. But yeah, we did that, stayed till almost closing, and yeah, I got back about 10. Then Tuesday, had a doctor's appointment because I don't get to rest this week. Yeah, I did that, and then had to edit together the video for my aunt's memorial service. That took about like an hour and a half or so. Just like stringing together 3 songs and just like adding pictures at 7-second increments. Uh, yeah. And then Wednesday was work. Like, just not much else to say about it. Just normal work day. For the rest of the week, stay tuned next time. But yeah, that was my first half of the week. Oh, how was your week?
I too will also cut off at certain points, but a bit of a mess trying to get back into things around here between events, but still get a good chunk of the post-event to-do lists. Squared off in longevity. Part of the thing is catching up with whatever action occurred over the weekend whilst I was AFTV. So I managed to get my laundry done despite some questionable gaps.
Okay.
Some meals can push back a bit. Some meals can push back a little bit, but so I managed to get this checked out. Something that was supposed to happen while I was away ended up also getting pushed back, but that was Eventually did happen at some point this week. Wasn't involved this time around, but still like to put over them in part, though I could certainly tell there was quite a bit of difficulties afterwards. Slowly but surely I'm intending to try to get back to how things are usually done. What usually happens around in here, between events. There's been occasionally jumbled. Also managed to get a few purchases squared off, including a closeout that was advertised earlier this week. If negotiations went through, I'm sitting quite a bit as soon as that package comes in. And also got this one's credit we're done with. Reminder went off during the convention, so we had to hold on that for a bit. So thankfully, managed to get that done. Not too long after all the convention excitement finally died down. But yeah, on this occasion, I'll be holding off rest of the week until this IP.
Yeah. Okay. Right then. Okay then. Yeah. So, for videos this week, it's a bit different. No Owl House. Though don't worry, that will come back. But yeah. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Of course, we got Wild Mains, and if you're trying to avoid alcohol, you're in luck. There is no in media res portion today. Like no. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Moment. It's just it's just huh. Are you sure you put the right show on? But yeah, trying to do a music video, but it's like, who's gonna be the lead? And also the whole thing, like, yeah, record, recording video and stuff like that, and like any sort of creative thing never quite goes right, right off the bat. So it's like, oh, okay, made a few mistakes here and there. We'll have to cut that in editing, but you know that's part of the process. But yeah, it's like, okay, but which one of them is gonna be the star? It's like, oh, we probably should have thought of that ahead of time. Hmm. But they eventually come to the very obvious conclusion of it doesn't have to be just one of them. It's just like they're all there. Just use all the footage. Just make a decent music video. And so they did. And it turned out well. Oh yeah. Now for the other show we watched. this is another one I haven't seen before, though I have heard about it. And there's a few crossover fanfics that I've looked at that look interesting. But yeah, today we looked at Phineas and Ferb. So, we should probably go over the characters first. We got Phineas. Oh, first I should explain the premise. It's summer break, no school for 3 months. What to do? So Phineas and Ferb are basically like, okay, today we're gonna do this thing, and they do that thing, and their sister tries to get them in trouble for doing that thing, but they always manage to put all the stuff away before or their mom can catch them. Yeah, it's strange how that happens all the time. And yeah, so Phineas is the more talkative one. He's like the idea guy, and Ferb is the, how should I put it? When I first saw this, it's like, oh, so Ferb is a silent Bob to Phineas's Jay. Silent, doesn't really talk much, might pitch in once an episode, but other than that, he is pretty silent. Then you have their sister Candace, who is just plain up tired of their antics, and I swear at her. By the end of the series, if she doesn't have a complete and total breakdown, I would be surprised. It's like, oh hey, they're doing this thing, and drags the mom over, only for whatever it was she was pointing out to be gone. Time and time again. Like, what was it? Hold on, let me check something. But yeah, they also have their pet platypus Perry, who is also a secret agent. And once an episode, he goes against the evil question mark Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and they get into antics. And only seeing the first episode, it's like, okay, he has some weird plot that like he usually overlooks one thing or another, and then they're in danger, so they have to kind of work together to get out of danger. Like, okay, and then Perry is like, okay, later, and Doofenshmirtz is like, wait, where are you going? And usually misfortune happens to him. So yeah, it's an interesting show. It's one of those ones where it's like you don't take it too seriously. Like in the first portion, they build a roller coaster in their backyard slash through half the town. And one of the things I noticed is like, you're someone will inevitably be like, aren't you kind of young to be doing this? And Phineas just straight up is like, yeah. To which the other one's like, oh, okay. just they just roll with it. Uh, and yeah, that is the typical formula. Like they have an idea of something to do that day. Meanwhile, their mom is otherwise occupied. Candace sees what they're doing. It's like, hey, Mom, you have to see this thing. And it's always out of view when the mom actually gets there. I mean, it's like, second time around, they added Candace's face to Mount Rushmore. I mean, it didn't last long, but she did appreciate the addition while it lasted. So it's like, yeah, yeah, interesting show. Not gonna lie, I can see why people would be interested in it. It's all kinds of, it's that right level of zany that's like, I don't know. It's hard to put into words, you know. But yeah, it's a really interesting show. And yeah, I think I read a post somewhere saying that they eventually did do all the stuff that they said they were going to do in the opening sequence. And even the title sequence is like self-aware. It's like, Mom, Phineas is making a title sequence. uh, that tells you right off the bat. It's like, okay, don't think about it too much. Like, it's one of those shows. Like, how should I put it? I mean, for just wackiness and episodic, short episodic, like, weirdness, I'd say, like, possibly comparable to Animaniacs, maybe? And I'd have to see more to really properly make the comparison, but just that kind of self-aware zaniness that's like, okay, this is obviously absolutely wacky, and you're not supposed to take it seriously at all. But it's still just like lighthearted, you know. Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. So, do you have any thoughts on the episodes?
Even if I had one trait, isn't used here, there's still the occasional as the Bernie Direct team put it, Deadpoolisms.
Yeah,
But as mentioned, in this case, I go a bit more straight into it as opposed to the semi-classic method of middle of the action, rewind, and eventually you get caught up.
yeah.
Got a bit more sensitive recurrences, including got a bit more sensitive recurrences. Funny thing though, when I first saw the title of the episode, I almost thought for a moment they were going to do a YouTuber reaction parody type of deal.
Oh. Yeah, I can see that.
That would have been quite the first.
But yeah, it's funny that like between Wild Mains and Gen 5 ponies are just like, oh yeah, we all have cell phones and social media now.
Granted, there's some offline stuff incorporated, but yeah, looking like a pretty easy to tell. Point in time.
Yeah.
They had all the notes in the music department. This is whether it's animated or live. So could have cement. And good music production from a technical newcomer to the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, secondly, I think I mentioned this a couple times before, but used to hog the TV quite a bit whilst we were on driving vacations. And of course, Disney Channel became a quick favorite. So I definitely remember the advertising for this. a lot of the previews, and even if I didn't just watch ones back in the day, it still managed to stuck with me. So I will just come back to its applications. Find a few clips here and there. Have talked about it with friends and family on some occasions.
Mhm.
As you can probably tell by now, Disney Channel shows of the mid to late 2000s. Hit a major with me during that time.
Yep.
Over time, I started to pick up more on the over time, I started picking up more on how things usually go, and kind of wonder if there was ever a time where she got a break, as opposed to some of the opposite of one episode long dream sequence, except she comes back real last, and her paranoia is pretty much mostly sedated.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell by the reactions of their mom that and like Candace's reactions that like yeah, this has been going on for a while. Like we have nearly joined it in midway of the madness.
I would have also used the term mad scientists. They're kind of a middle ground as time goes by. There are some that are better than others.
Yeah. Yeah, like some of his plots it's like okay, so first off, wrapping the eastern seaboard in tin foil, then using a magnet to drag the seaboard over, and something. Okay, he didn't quite get too far into the planning process before going through with it, but there was some sort of plan there, I think. And the second one, it's like, yeah, drill through the earth, and to China, make a toll road through the air, make billions. Kind of forgot about the whole, molten core portion. Um, yeah, he has grand ideas. Doesn't really quite think them all the way through, though. Uh, yeah,
Even if it is an homage to another favorite Disney show of around the same time, again, mad scientists are kind of a middle road, middle of the road kind of thing. Some are better at the villain classification than others.
yeah, uh, yeah. Just overall, really fun.
Family manages to remain neutral in a sense that's yes, there are some questionable cases, but at the same time, they're mostly harmless, and they also manage to be a bit more conscious as as I mentioned, they try to make a family member's birthday particularly special, and try to improve from previous attempts.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to admit they are skilled.
And like I said, conscious. At least one of the quirks of the little temporary attraction was classic joke shot material.
But yeah, it's like with such a open concept for shows, like okay, they want to do all sorts of wacky stuff during summer break. That's so many episode ideas that they have access to just right there. Especially since they're clearly following cartoon logic. So it's like, does it really need to, you know, be fully realistic or anything?
It's a good mix of both, especially in the visual department for the second episode, because small sense of rotoscoping for a few of the shots because, well, it's a real landmark. And one of the strokes is a nice one too, especially given that, especially given how early on that Candace, the more clear and concise and landmark interest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it all balances out. Family matters, fun stuff, things teenagers have to go through. And grade schoolers coping with a certain season. Again, one of those fun years of my life, and definitely one of those parts of it that I enjoy coming back to on occasion.
Mm-hmm. Right then. So, getting into some news from last week, but still, we're slowly getting caught up. This one's actually kind of on point for what we were just talking about. Apparently, just got a first look at Dr. Doofenshmirtz for Disneyland California. He'll be appearing on the Treat Trail starting from August 25th. Let me move this over here for reading from the left side. John Cena explains the plot of Jackpot using Gen Z terms. Phantom tax, am I right? Whenever Aquafina realizes she's taken W, she's gotta get herself and get her trip to safety. Please, John Cena, never do that again. That was cringe. Like the only Gen Zism that I kind of am fine with is Riz. Cause like, okay, shortening charisma, that's fair. But everything else, it's like, oh god, I'm getting old. uh, Fake quotes from the Megalopolis trailer were AI generated. Lionsgate has fired the marketing consultant that was responsible. Elizabeth, Elizabeth Olsen may possibly return as Scarlet Witch in the Vision series. Yeah, the character supposedly died, but once that never stopped them. Returns for the Vision series, James Spader will return as Ultron. The series will be releasing in 2026 on Disney Plus. Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 are being made at the same time. Quote, we're working in a room where this half is Frozen 3, this half is Frozen 4. We're standing in the middle going back and forth. And God help us all if they end up mixing them together, end up mixing something up.
We'll see, because if you're familiar with science fiction, not the first time this has happened.
Yeah. Like, you have stuff from Frozen 4 that actually ends up happening in Frozen 3. Then in Frozen 5, because of that, you have to introduce time travel elements to, like, explain why stuff happened out of order.
Cool stuff.
Pete Doctor says Incredibles 3 is only in the beginning stages of development. It's still pretty malleable in terms of what the story will be about. Charithra Chandran has been cast as Miss Wednesday in the live-action One Piece season 2, releasing next year on Netflix. Got the first official look at Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. And no, that isn't CGE. That's just how Harrison Ford gets when he's asked stupid Star Wars questions. Not bad.
Couldn't resist.
Yep. The John Williams documentary titled Music by John Williams will release on November 1st on Disney Plus. The documentary will also have a limited theatrical release. Got the first poster for Paris Has Fallen, which will be a TV series spin-off for the Has Fallen franchise. I'm just waiting for the spin-off London Bridge Has Fallen. There's concept art of Deadpool visiting the Marvel Comics universe for Deadpool and Wolverine. Got a first peek at Ironheart releasing next year on Disney Plus, and first official looks at Daredevil Born Again and Thunderbolts, releasing March 2025 and May 2nd, 2025, respectively. Senthil Ramamurthy has been cast as Nefertari Cobra in One Piece Season 2. I don't know who that is. Like, I think I got partway through, the Arlong portion of the storyline and kind of dipped out. I was personally I was more into Naruto and Bleach, but I've been kind of possibly been thinking of you know, giving One Piece a shot. If I have like a spare month to read all the chapters. Jack Black and Paul Rudd are in talks to star in a new Anaconda movie. The film follows a group of friends facing midlife crises who decide to go to the rainforest and remake their favorite movie from their youth, Anaconda. Oh, going that style. Interesting. Destin Daniel Cretton's live-action Naruto movie will, quote, capture how nuanced and special Naruto is without getting distracted by the big world that it is. I mean, I don't know. Of the big three, Naruto always seemed like it would be the most difficult to adapt to, live action. Like One Piece is wacky, but it's more restrained. Bleach is okay. A lot of that is sword based, so you can work with that. Whereas Naruto, it's like you got special techniques out the wazoo, and yeah. But we'll see.
I'll admit, thinking about it, that kind of thinking does feel like something someone who watches One Piece would have commented on. If what I've heard from some sources are